What is going on, everybody? I am the FDGURU, bringing to you guys a Tuesday MLB edition of my DFS podcast. We have 10 games on the main slate here tonight. We have an early slate with 5 games as well at 6:40 Eastern. I will be posting that on my Dub Club as always. All non-main slates go over there. Main slates go on my actual website. You can sign up on Dub Club with the link below with a promo. There's also a 3-game after-hours slate. We had a nice cash on that last night. We'll also be playing that. I also tweeted earlier that if we profit all 3 slates today, early, main, and after-hours, I will be doing a huge credit giveaway to all you guys tomorrow. Just trying to, manifest the positive vibes and have a nice overall day today. So let's look forward to that. Let's try to make some good money across the entire slates of MLB today. We do have one game with some possible rain, and it ends up being the best spot on the slate, really. That's the Chicago Cubs against the Chicago White Sox at Wrigley Field. We're going to have to get some more news on that later as the rain approaches, but it looks like there's some small storms that will be clearing before first pitch, and then a batch of storms expected to arrive later in the night, most likely after the game. So it looks like we're going to avoid it, but with double storms hanging around, we're going to have to get a closer look at the radar. That's obviously a big deal because the Cubs are the best team on this slate, whether it's hitters, whether it's Imanaga at pitcher. I'll talk about that. I will include some Cubs in this video because I do think we have a better chance of, avoiding the rain in this game. So for pitcher, I think we can spend up tonight. Now, we do have another Coors Field game. The Reds look good again. It's what do we got for an over-under? 10.5 over-under. Reds are slight favorites. We have Frankie Montas against Ty Blatch. We saw the Reds put up 11 runs last night. We could get some value bats for the Reds. With the lefty on the mound and Ty Blatch, we might get some red righties up in that lineup. Guys like Stuart Fairchild, Tyler Stevenson, Espinal. If they're in, good spots in the order, they're pretty, valuable on this slate. They're not too expensive, but we'll have to wait on that red starting lineup before we can start plugging guys away. But for pitcher, I mentioned Imanaga. He would be the guy I put in this video as my pitcher, but the rain, the questionable rain has me just leaving off of him for now. It could be a different story in a few hours for sure. By far the best play on this slate at pitcher. 10,500, you're spending up on him, but he is a great spot here to bounce back against the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox are one of the worst teams in the league. Imanaga has been one of the best pitchers in the league as a rookie. We had him in Milwaukee last start, and he got absolutely shelled. The guy's human. Even the best pitchers in the league sometimes get lit up. If we look before that start, though, he was an absolute stud. So he's projected to score 36-plus fantasy points, and he looks good. Obviously, we're spending up, but it's for good reason with this matchup against the White Sox. The Cubs, minus 300 favorites, and it's a 9.5 over-under. This Cubs team, whether it's Imanaga or the hitters, they're expected to score the most runs on the slate, and it's not even really close. And that's including the Coors Field game. Minus 300, 9.5 over-under. I mean, the Cubs are expected to score 6+ runs in this game, maybe even 7 runs. They look really good. I like Imanaga. Again, we'll have to, get a better update on the radar, in a few hours from now. Another guy I'm looking at is George Kirby. He draws a great matchup in Oakland, 9,600. We know how good this guy is. He hasn't been necessarily great this year. He has had really, really good starts, but he's also had some bad starts. Kind of been all over the place. Coming off of a great start, though, against Houston, a tough lineup. 6 innings, 8 strikeouts. He's just had a few starts where he's gotten lit up. 8 earned, 5 earned, 5 earned, and 5 earned recently. So that's a little concerning, but He is in Oakland. It's a pitcher's ballpark against this Athletics team. So it's a good matchup for him tonight. I don't mind George Kirby at 9,600. He's projected to score 33 plus fantasy points, which, anything over 30 at this price we'll feel pretty good about. In terms of cheaper pitchers, I was looking at it. I don't really know if I can stomach rostering any of these guys. A lot of these guys are bullpen guys who are getting spot starts. Mazur is getting called up from Double-A. He was getting rocked in Triple-A. The Angels could be a value stack because I don't think he pitches well. Trevor Richards is a bullpen guy for the Blue Jays. Blake Watson doesn't go deep into games. Palante, I'll talk about him because I'm targeting Astros in this video. He's a bullpen guy, but they stretched him out to 6 innings last start. But it seems like he has a short leash if he gets hit around. So all of these cheaper guys just aren't expected to go deep into games. So I don't think we can really get away with any of these guys. It looks like we're spending up on this slate, whether it's George Kirby, maybe even Max Fried at 9,900. Corbin Burns isn't a bad play. Imanaga, obviously. I'm looking at anywhere from George Kirby and above. I really don't think there's great value. Maybe Dane Dunning at home against the Tigers. He's been not terrible at 8,300. He needs like 25 plus fantasy points. He's averaging that on the year. So maybe Dane Dunning. I didn't really look at him before this video. He kind of caught my eye now. He's a slight favorite, 8 over-under. Does have a tough matchup against Jack Flaherty, which is why we have a pick'em in this game. But you could maybe look at Dunning. The Tigers aren't overly powerful on offense. But in terms of this video, I like George Kirby. I like Imanaga. If the rain looks like a full go, like we're good to go, no delay possibility, Imanaga is the guy on this slate. For the infield, let's go to the Cubs. They're, properly priced, if not a little too cheap. Cody Bellinger, 3,400, not expensive enough for me. Cubs have a great matchup here. Wind is blowing out 10 miles per hour at Wrigley. Like I said, huge favorites in this game, 9.5 over-under. Chris Flexen on the mound for the White Sox, 5.5 ERA. We have a nice lefty-righty matchup for Cody Bellinger tonight. I really like him. He's been hitting well as of late over the last week. Has a handful of multi-hit games. 5 multi-hit games in his last 7 games, coming off of a 3-hit game. I like Bellinger. He's been good to me. There hasn't been a lot of guys this year who have really stepped up for me. Cody Bellinger has homered a lot for me. Nick Castellanos is another name that pops in my head for guys who've been really good to me. But there's not many. Cody Bellinger is a good play tonight, though, as the Cubs, like I said earlier, are the best team to stack on this slate. Second infield play, I'm going 2 Cubs, 2 Astros in this video. Kyle Tucker got hurt last night, so it's a good chance he's out of the lineup tonight. We might get a value bat somewhere in the top 5 in this lineup. We know Alex Bregman is probably batting cleanup, and he is getting hot. Just recently talked about who's starting for the Cardinals tonight. Andre Palante, I think that's how you say it. Again, he's a bullpen guy. He could easily get rocked here. Huge spot for him if he wants to look good in Houston. I don't think he will look good. Astros are minus 160 favorites, 9 over under. It looks like these Astros bats are starting to come alive, especially Alex Bregman. His average was well below 200, and now it's at 230 due to his recent hot streak. As you can see in his game log, 5 homers in the last week. Over his last 7 games, he has 5 homers. Coming off of consecutive games with homers over the last 2 games. Bregman looks really good at 3,200 in this matchup. Astros, one of the highest team projected run totals on this slate. I like this play at 3,200. And then the other Astro, a guy we never see below 4K. Yordan Alvarez is only 3,600. Looks like one of the best value plays on this slate. Draws that lefty-righty matchup against Palante. Really, really like Alvarez here to step up. 290 average. just shows you how good he really is, because it doesn't even seem like he's had a great start to this season, and he's still batting .290. 3 homers in his last 3 games. That's a great thing to see. He's on a 7-game hitting streak. 4 of those 7 games are multi-hit games. So it looks like Alvarez is starting to get hot. Hitting, especially in the MLB, it's contagious. When guys start to get going, other guys in the lineups get more confident and start to get going. We've seen this with Alvarez and Bregman in this Astros lineup. Really, really like this value play. It's a very rare scenario when we see Alvarez at only 3,600. Then our last play, back to the Cubs. Seiya Suzuki, 3,200, should be batting second tonight for the Cubs. Same reasons as Bellinger. The Cubs are the best team on this slate. Great matchup against Chris Flexen. A little bit of wind blowing out. 3,200 is a good price on him. He's also running red hot. 2 homers in his last 4 games. He's on a hitting streak since May 23rd, which is, 10 games. 10-game hitting streak for Suzuki. 3,200, a very affordable price on him in an elite matchup against Chris Flexen. So I like Suzuki. I like the Cubs. I like the Astros. Obviously, the Coors Field game we're going to want to look at once we get confirmed lineups. And then that, just to reiterate, keep an eye out on that Wrigley Field weather. Again, it looks more likely than not that we'll be fine, which is great because we're going to want Cubs hitters. We're going to want Imanaga. But that'll round out this video, guys. Give it a like, subscribe. Let's have a huge day today. Early slate, main slate, after hours slate. Again, get on my Dub Club. $1 for a week below with the link. And let's get after it. Until next time, I am the FD Guru. Peace.